Hey guys, how's it going? It's Kieran from Slapshot Vintage here, joined by Dan again.
Hi guys.
And we have a guest today, our best guest yet. No offence to Dan and Joe. We're joined by Rebecca.
Hi.
So, if you don't know Rebecca, she is a very, very good artist whose work has been shared by the NHL. She believes 3 times. She may have miscounted, but it's at least 2. And then the Elite League once. We'll put some screenshots here now. This episode is going to be on YouTube, so we'll put some screenshots here. We'll tag Instagram handles below. So the first part is just going to be a kind of brief biography of Rebecca, how she started ETC, and then we'll ask the standard questions we ask, and then me and Dan will do our own bit at the end.
Oh, the good old hockey game is the best game you can name, and the best game you can name is the good old hockey game.
So, how did you, it's a very broad question, but how did you start, as an artist? Did you always have the spark as a kid? Is it something that came in later life?
Yeah, it was always even just reading back nursery reports and stuff like that. It was always what I enjoyed doing most. It was always my thing was art. So it's always kind of been the same. It's always what I've wanted to do and study. And so, yeah, I've just always been drawing, just gradually kept going with that over time. So
where was there a certain point where you, obviously, I did art at GCSE and I enjoyed it, but I kind of always knew I wasn't very good. I know there's a whole thing with creatives where they never think they're good, but did you have a point where you were like, okay, I've got something special? Or
I think it was more other people telling me that. I'm quite bad for being negative about things and not believing that stuff's good. Even now, people have shared my work and I'm still I don't know why. And, so yeah, it's more just other people saying so, but then it was what I enjoyed doing, so I was like, well, I'll just try and keep going with it, and people seem to be supportive, so just kept going with it, really. So yeah,
and
I guess that was
took that into your university degree?
Yeah. So
was that a fine art one? Oh, illustration.
I did illustrations, so I've done it. It's kind of done a mixture of things. I've done things that are kids' books, and I've done things that are realistic portraits. So kind of go.
So the aim is to take that into a career.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
So
sweet.
That's
good that you've, interesting that you've gone, the kind of hyper realism with the drawings, and then you've got the kids' books as well. Yeah, that's very interesting. So when was your first, hockey or sports? If you started doing football, or whatever first, when was your first sports drawing in the style you do now?
It was when I just started going to hockey, so that would have been about 2013 or 14. So I hadn't really done any realistic portraits before then. That was I always did cartoons and stuff like that, and then I started going to hockey in about 2013, 14, and I decided to draw a player. Absolutely terrible. It was horrendous looking back, but people were really supportive of it, so I just kept doing it. So
yeah,
that was kind of my first kind of one.
Yeah, very cool. Who was the player? Do you remember?
It was Matt Nickerson. It was an enforcer for Flyers, for Flyers. So
he went to Lightning, was it, and got a 50-game ban?
Yeah.
For punching someone in the crowd.
Yeah.
I remember that.
It was a light punch.
It wasn't really punch a fan, but it was a.
But you still can't punch a fan. It wasn't quite Ty Domi against the Fly. Yeah.
No.
Kick to the face.
Yeah.
So how did you get into going to watch Flyers?
Yeah.
My granddad's been going for, I think, between about 40 to 50 years. I'm not really sure exactly, but he's been going for a long time.
That's almost as old as you, Dan.
Nice one. Cheers.
So yeah, and then my mum and dad obviously went growing up, and then they stopped going when I was born, and then I think it got the 75th anniversary, I think, of the Flyers.
Yeah.
And they decided to go again. My granddad has still been going all that time.
Yeah.
But I got forced along, and I was like, I don't want to go. I was like a 14-year-old, probably brought my notepad along to draw, and I was like, I have to go to this, and then just got hooked. So
yeah, hockey's a sport where I've never, I always try and take as many people as I can. So I've took my girlfriend, I've took my mum, my dad, my brother, his girlfriend's brother, best mate, all these people, and not one has said, well, I won't go there again type thing. It's,
No.
People like it for different reasons. People like the fights. People like the skill, and my mum likes the clapping. Same with baseball in America. She enjoyed the clapping. So
Flyers are are they one of the oldest teams in the UK still, I think?
I was just about to say, I think they're oldest in the world. One of the oldest in the world.
Not in the world. I mean,
I don't know if they're
still
world, but they're
operating
definitely
now.
UK. Yeah.
Definitely one of the oldest in the UK.
Definitely
for
in
sure.
the UK, yeah. Because
I seem to have it in my head that they're like 1930 something.
1938 was their
So
first year. So.
Well, I mean, the Habs were about in like the early 1900s, and the Maple Leafs came in at around there. Yeah. So, but definitely in the UK, they are.
Oh, 100%. But then they're older than most NHL teams.
Yeah, they're older than most NHL teams for sure.
Flyers was what?
Definitely.
And the rink's about the oldest in the UK as well, I think.
yeah. Just about the same standing up. So.
At least it's still there.
It.
That's what matters.
I like it.
So we've said that Fife is your elite league team. Obviously, that's because of locality. Would make sense. There's no point you being a Guildford fan if you lived so far away. Now we briefly touched on it before we started recording, but for the viewers, we'll say we asked your NHL team. You said you've never really managed to kind of hone in on a particular one.
Yeah, it's been difficult because I've went through a couple, but it's also one that's just like I've done a lot of drawings of different players from different teams and had like support from all the different teams. Like I've had a couple, teams like my stuff, share my stuff, like players said like it. And it makes it, you kind of start to like one team and then something else happens and then you start to lean towards another one.
Have you had any,
through the whole art thing?
Say you've done a drawing of, I know that they shared the Ovechkin one. Did you get any abuse from rival fans that now you hate the team?
Oh, I've had so much people just be like horrible.
I just don't understand that. What?
As soon as it's another team, they'll be like, "Oh, it's such a terrible drawing. It looks nothing like it." Just because you're from a rival team, but you just got to realize that people are.
But someone's woke up today and they thought, "Okay, I'm going to abuse a girl on the other side of the Atlantic Ocean, or is it Atlantic? Not very good emotion. Not very good. I'm going to abuse a girl other side of the Atlantic Ocean because she's done a very good drawing of." So you said you've done Ovechkin, Ryan O'Reilly, and Marc-Andre Fleury. Three probably arguably best in their positions at the time you drew them, and they're abusing you for it.
People are funny.
Who was Fleury playing for at the time that you drew him?
I think it would have been Vegas. Was it Penguin? No, I think it was Vegas. So.
Good. There's a chance to have a go at some Flyers fans there. I was going to take it.
Yeah.
I had a chance to have a go at Rebecca then. That's what I was looking for. How do you choose the players you're going to draw? Is it, I think your Ryan O'Reilly one was with the Cup.
Yeah, that was with the Cup.
Yeah.
I think that was before they'd won the Cup. So it was on kind of on the playoffs. So, but usually I'll draw players with the Cup. Oh, that was the other one that got shared. It wasn't Fleury. It was Alex Pietrangelo holding the Cup.
Oh, okay.
So that was what it was. I'll usually draw them once they've won the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
So that kind of helps. But then sometimes I'll just see a good photo and I'm like, I'll draw them. So
yeah. Did you draw Fleury because you fancied a bit of a challenge with a mask and stuff?
I'm obsessed with his mask. I'm obsessed with it. So I was like, I need to draw that. It's such a nice mask.
Is it his that's got it's got the alternate symbol somewhere on?
Yeah, I think
the
so.
weird star or whatever it is.
Yeah, I think it's got it somewhere, and then it's got gold at the bottom. It's got some of Vegas on the side. It's
we
nice.
Probably should have researched the alternate symbols down, the history of them. So are you is there one in the works at the minute? Are you waiting for something to happen, or?
So at the moment, I've been doing a lot of drawings of NHL players that for someone I'm not allowed to actually say what it is, but
okay,
I've done a lot of NHL stuff over the last year, which has been cool. But
Sweet.
yeah, there's stuff in the works. But when hockey starts back up again,
nice.
there'll be a lot more drawings hopefully coming up.
So that is, we'll just have a quick note. Since the last podcast, they've announced that they will be starting the playoffs. I believe it's the 1st of August. The Flyers' first game is the 2nd. But yeah, it's the 1st, isn't it, Dan?
Hockey's coming back.
Yeah, hockey's coming back.
1st of August, we've got less than 2 weeks. Well, essentially 2 weeks, and then we get hockey back.
Arguable that it probably shouldn't come back with the state of that country.
But they're not playing in America. They're playing in Canada.
Good point. But we won't get into politics because we will lose listeners. I'm probably turning off myself.
They're playing in Canada. They're not playing in the US. They've got Toronto and Edmonton are hub cities, and then I believe the conference finals and the Stanley Cup finals are being held in Edmonton rather than Toronto.
Obviously, East and West, they're sticking Eastern Conference in Toronto, West in Edmonton, which I would say is actually a very, very sensible decision for once from the NHL.
Yeah.
Unlike the draft.
They've managed it. Well, moving on from that, we've done my opinions on that.
The draft went that bad for Dan, he's changed his team.
Yeah, I just thought green's an underused colour in the NHL, so I thought rep a green jersey today.
While we're talking about colours, before my next point about the friendlies, Rebecca, obviously you are an artist, you've got an eye for colours, we can see from your wonderful book/DVD section below. Do you pick a DVD just because of the colour, or do you actually like what it is?
No, I'm obsessive Disney fan. I've got all just loads of Disney films.
Yeah.
Any
you
Disney
like
movies,
my
just collect
random
them.
hat I've got on today.
I love it. It's great.
So, me and Dan have our preferences on jerseys. We're both a fan of both of these. This one in an ironic way. But we just thought we'd ask you, as someone with an eye, what do you think the best jersey is in the Elite League? And then what do you think the worst is in the Elite League?
Ooh. I'm going to go back a couple of years. There was the jersey we had, Flyers had. I'm going to go biased and go Flyers. But there was the jersey we had years ago. I'm not really sure what season it would have been. A couple of years ago, and it was all yellow. I love yellow. So I'm just being really biased, basically. It was all yellow, had a big F on the front, like alternative logo. It was really nice. I liked it. Had laces, which we never do on our jerseys, so I like that one.
I remember a Fife one from, I don't know, at least it might even be last year, but it was, rather than the circle logo, it had flies in like a script font.
Yeah.
That was really nice. I like that one.
That was nice. I like when they do those. I think it's a nice
I haven't
change.
seen Fife's playoff ones, for the playoffs that never happened. But I thought in general they did pretty well with them this year. Because they all had the gradient striping on the bottom. But now the worst one. I'll cover my ears just in case you say something nasty about Nottingham, which I have an inkling you might. So go on, the worst one.
I wasn't the biggest fan of the green one, but it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't my favourite.
I get it. It's one of the ones where, I thought it was quite grim, but on ice it looked nice. But then...
See, I never saw it in person, so maybe it would have been better if I saw it in person.
This one's quite bad, to be fair.
That's Sheffield's best one.
This one?
Yeah, I'd say that.
Yeah.
Luminous high-vis orange, looked like working on a roadside.
It's better than the entirety orange, though. I'm not a big fan of the orange.
Yeah, this is the
I hate orange.
Little ghosts on it. Can you see that?
Oh, shit.
Oh, that is cool.
Shame it's Sheffield.
No, that's cool.
Shit player as well on the back.
Yeah. His brother's a bit weird as well. Jerseys in the NHL that catch your eye or you hate the look of?
The one that's behind you, actually, I've got the Bruins one.
Oh, yeah.
Support Bruins, but I love that one. A really nice jersey.
I don't really like Bruins as a team because of...
I don't love them, but...
someone I used to know. I sound like that song, don't I? But there's just something about their black jerseys that are Very nice.
Mm-hmm.
And then
I think I like the color combination on that ticket logo, but
I think black goes with
the
most
yellow and the
colours.
white. Looks really, really nice. And that alternative logo is really cool, I think.
Yeah. So Bruins, do you like their jerseys in general?
Yeah, I like them. I'm not the biggest Bruins fan. I used to kind of like, my dad's a Bruins fan, so
okay.
I always kind of had to be biased, and I would at least like them, but I don't know. But I like their jerseys. I think they're really nice. I like the combination of colours and like classic logo. So I like that.
Any NHL colours and logos that you just can't stand?
I'm not a big. I'd say I've never really been the biggest fan of like LA's tops. I'm just the grey kind of. I don't know. They're not terrible.
They've had so many
on the top of my head.
Yeah, they've had so many redesigns over the years. And
that's it.
This, I would argue, is their worst one yet.
Yeah, LA used to have very colourful, purple and yellow, very striking, and then they went, we're going to scratch all that and go black and white, do nothing.
But then that was banging.
Well,
Gretzky era, Chevy logo, unbelievable. Clean.
Yeah, but then they changed it again, and it's just boring now.
Yeah.
I want a yellow and purple, full yellow and purple again.
Yeah.
And I'll be happy with that.
Well, you'll be happy with the drop we've got coming in approximately 3 weeks' time. I know we say it every time, but it is on the way now.
You've said that for the last 3 podcasts that those jerseys are coming.
I just keep buying more. To my American contacts. I'm like, just hold on, sending it. Hold on. Now, I'm going to say something quite controversial that I know Dan will not agree with. And I have a feeling Rebecca won't. But while we're talking about bad colour schemes, I think Vegas is the worst in the league.
I disagree with that.
Yeah. I disagree with that.
I mean,
I don't mind Vegas.
Yeah, I'd say I don't absolutely love their jerseys. I don't absolutely hate them. I do think the red stripes are a little bit unnecessary.
Yeah.
But I do like the sort of grey and the gold.
Busy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the red stripe seems a little bit unnecessary, but they're
not
agree with that. The worst, I don't think. Personally, I think the actual worst jerseys to look at are the Ducks main ones with that horrible D logo in it. I don't like that logo.
Oh yeah, that's a good show actually.
They've grown on me. I hate the one that's like the black with the duck written on. Ironically, the one that dropped today. I don't like that one.
Yeah, that jersey gives me PTSD, to be fair, because that's the one they were wearing when they beat us in the final. So we don't talk about that one.
Yeah, I didn't like Blackhawks for the same reason. So we have had one interesting question.
Just the one.
Just the one. Don't be shy next time, guys.
If you asked a question and it wasn't this one, then your question wasn't good enough, is what you're saying.
I would just have a double check that. I wish I could. I wish I had the ability to gatekeep questions, but sadly, I don't.
This has got to be up there as one of the worst NHLs, in my opinion, and it's my team because I hate that logo.
Yeah.
I
do think. Yeah. Quite often, typeface is it called? But I think quite often them jerseys just don't work.
It's like the Bolts one that.
That's
what they have.
It literally just says Bolts.
Yeah, I don't like anything where they just shorten a team name like Sens, Bolts. No. It's like you can be more creative than that, surely. How many people are designing these things?
Yeah. If you could, Rebecca, this is a bit off the curve. If you could start a team in, so say Seattle, for example, that don't have a team at the minute. Ignore the history they've got of all the teams.
Yeah.
What colour scheme are you going? What are your favourite colours to work in? And, what would the logo be? What animal do you like or something like that?
Oh, that's a tough question.
While you think about that, there's the heavy rumour that it's going to be the Seattle Kraken.
Yes.
I don't really understand I don't know if it's like folklore there, they have a Kraken in the sea, because obviously it's like West Coast side. But I just hope with Seattle that they keep the colour scheme the same. So the Seahawks use it's kind of like a very dark green. It's almost like Starbucks colours, to be fair, because Starbucks is a Seattle it might be their county flag or state flag. Sorry, but yeah, I think we're meant to find out about that on the draft.
We were meant to find out about that about 2 years ago.
Yeah, because they're starting not next year, the year after.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So not next season, the season after. But yeah, I mean, Vegas had a name within 6 months of the team being announced. We're now 2.5 years knowing that Seattle's getting a team, and we've heard nothing.
No,
because there was rumours for a while it's going to be the Seattle Sockeyes, and then that's apparently not happening anymore.
What is a sockeye? Is it fish?
Salmon.
Yeah,
it's a salmon, sockeye salmon. Which I mean,
why is so many hockey teams naming themselves after fish? You've got the Victoria Salmon Kings. Who looks at a fish and thinks, God, I'm going to name a hockey team after you?
I mean, that's the thing. It's not intimidating or sort of.
It's like Ducks isn't, is it?
No, but I mean, they were named after a Disney film, so they sort of.
Yeah, but even in the film, I'm pretty sure they're like Ducks. That's not.
I just wouldn't want to have a jersey with a fish on the front. I don't know.
No, I hate fish. I hate fish and I hate frogs.
You hate fish? Why do you hate fish? What's wrong with fish? You've offended me now because I like fish.
Okay, right. So I've got a story. Right? This is very not related to hockey, but I would tell it. And I swear on my life this happened. Right? So I was in Spain with my dad when I was probably like 11 or 12. And like the beach tennis you get with the wooden bats?
Yeah.
We're in this sea up to like there, because it was a nice warm day and we're playing and whatever. And then the ball went out to sea. It's just like, I'll swim and get it. Start swimming. Stood up, put my hand on the ball, went to turn, and I swear on my life, a fish jumped up, slapped me on the face, and just swam away. And I've never in my life ran so quick. Dad was like, what happened? I was like, a fish has just slapped me in the face. He was like, it hasn't. I was like, Dad, I've just defied the laws of physics with this water to get back to you, and I'm telling you, a fish has just slapped me. That's why I don't like fish, Dan. Now, if you've got a problem, then...
I do have a problem. I'm a big fan of fish.
Well, what type of fish?
Moving on from fish. I mean, we'll be here for hours if you get me talking about that, mate.
Are we talking like tropical fish or like carp?
Well, depends. It's a fish, isn't it?
Anyway,
tropical fish. Used to keep aquariums and stuff like that. I'm going to get some more soon because me and my missus just moving to a nice new place. Hence why anyone that's noticed, the background is different on my end. So I have a house now, not a one-room flat, which is very exciting. But moving on from fish and
moving
my
on
house.
From fish. So our question is...
Hold on. Rebecca's designing a team colours
Sorry, my mind's at 1,000 miles per hour.
I would have went with the dark green. I think the dark green would be really nice.
Yeah.
I'm not really like dark green and white. I don't know if dark green and black would be a bit too similar, but dark green and white I think would be really nice. Not sure about logo.
No.
I mean, I agree. I agree. I think it needs to be green because I think green is the most underutilized colour in the NHL.
Purple.
Because the teams you've got green, you've got purple as well. But I mean, as a main colour, I think purple is a little bit full on. Purple's more of an accenting colour, I would imagine, in jersey. Yeah. But because green, you've got Vancouver use it a bit. Obviously, Dallas, what I'm wearing now, and then
Wild.
Minnesota Wild,
and then Hurricanes when they do the throwbacks.
Yeah, that's to the Whalers,
which is the best green jersey out there.
Yeah, I mean, I do like these ones, the Dallas ones.
They're clean.
I really like the Dallas ones.
Yeah, I just find Dallas as a team so just like they're there. That's it.
Yeah, well, that's the same as Minnesota, isn't it? They exist.
Yeah,
and that's all.
Yeah. So you'd go green and you'd keep the rumoured green and black, Rebecca, and maybe
yellow. I think so. I think that'd be
white,
really nice.
Sorry.
Yeah, I think that'd be nice.
Yeah. So the question for the third attempt, we got asked who we think the first play-in team to qualify for the playoffs is going to be. Now, we think we've got an answer. We'll just go through all of the matchups so we can kind of not be biased. So we have playing each other in the play-ins. Calgary versus Winnipeg.
Which I'm annoyed about.
That's tough to pick a team out of that, I think. Oilers versus Blackhawks. You'd think Oilers.
I would go Oilers for sure.
I don't think it'd be a sweep though.
I don't think it'd be a sweep. I think the Blackhawks have got too much playoff experience to be swept.
Yeah. So I reckon Flames might do Jets, to be fair. I don't think that's going to be a sweep either.
I don't know, man. Calgary have got such a poor record recently in the playoffs that I could just see them.
They're almost like a new team this year. Vancouver versus Wild. I could see Wild sweeping Canucks.
Nah, not if
just
Mark
because
back in goal.
Yeah, but do Vancouver have a lot of playoff experience?
No,
with all that crowd atmosphere. Minnesota have been in for the last 3-4 years.
How far they got each time?
They're there. It's a taking part that counts.
If Markstrom's fit and healthy and plays the way he did during the regular season, Vancouver will get into the playoffs. Whether they'll get far in it or not, I don't know. But Markstrom was MVP this year for Vancouver.
Nashville versus Coyotes. I'd have Nashville.
I'd have Nashville.
Maybe a sweep. Maybe.
I don't know. It depends. Depends what Taylor Hall turns up.
Yeah. And Kessel, the hot dog man. He's at Coyotes now, isn't he?
He is.
Maple Leafs versus Jackets. Now that's going to be interesting.
I mean, I honestly don't know on that one. I'll throw my hands up and say I just have no idea. After last season with the Jackets beating Tampa, who knows?
Now the next one is the one I would probably say is the most likely for a sweep. Pens Canadians. You know, Canadians somehow
I'd agree with that. Well, they were. Yeah, I mean, they were 2 points above Buffalo, who didn't get in. But there had to be a cut-off point somewhere, and they were the cut-off point.
And obviously, Penguins, you know, as much as it pains me to say, are still a very good team with a lot of playoff experience.
Yeah. And let's be honest, Montreal probably wants Lafreniere more than they want to get dicked in the first round of the playoffs. So
I still find that funny. Anyway, we've got an Instagram post coming about that soon. Then Islanders versus Panthers. Considering the moves Panthers made with Bobrovsky.
Yeah, and they're fairly used to playing in an empty stadium, so I'm sure that they'll do all right.
Again, they're just another team that are like, they're there.
Yeah, and I mean, I know I say that as a Sens fan, but their attendance at some points has been like 2,000 people for an NHL.
I remember watching a Flyers game at Panthers, probably either this season, you know, that we're still in, or last season. Turn it on and being like, what? Is this the warm-up still? Where is everyone? It was just so... Because they've got horrible, like, reddy brown colour seating.
Yeah, and it's so noticeable when people aren't in it.
Yeah. And then we have Canes versus Rangers, which I think is going to be quite exciting, to be fair.
Yeah, I don't know. I would prefer Rangers, because I quite like the Rangers.
Yeah. I quite like the Rangers, even though I shouldn't. I like Panarin and is it
Lundqvist?
Right, let's try and
Go on, try it.
The Zibanejad?
Zibanejad. Mika Zibanejad.
Yeah,
he was Senators player for a while.
He's very, I don't know.
Yeah, we've got a bit of buyer's remorse on that. We traded him to New York, and I imagine that Pierre Dorian's slightly regretting that now.
Because he was he at Stars before?
He was Senators before.
Senators.
Yeah, we traded him to New York.
So I think we're all going to say Pens. Feel free to speak.
I would say Montreal would go out quicker.
Yeah. It's just that whole, you know, we mentioned it in our draft podcast. You know, if he goes, you know, if Canadians lose, they get Lafreniere. It's almost like, you know, in that secret meeting when they were picking out the cards, that was scenario they had in their head.
They've rung up.
I wasn't even affected by this draft, and I'm annoyed about it.
They've rung up the Canadiens GM and go, right, what you're going to do is, can you lose to Pittsburgh, and then we're going to give you Lafreniere. And you go, oh, fair deal.
Yeah, as we said, French Canadian going to Montreal.
Yeah.
We fought it, a generational talent to save a franchise that aren't anywhere near as good as they used to be. Just some quick fire questions, Rebecca. We have already gone through them already, but earliest hockey memory?
My earliest hockey memory, my first game was actually an NHL game in Tampa, but I don't really remember any of it. I just remember,
nice.
Yeah.
Was that a Disney holiday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was 7.
Very nice, very nice.
Only thing I remember was like
being there.
Acrobatics, and there's guys doing acrobatics in the period break, and that's the only thing I remember, and it really annoys me now as a hockey fan being like, that's the only thing.
That was the first time we met Dan. So your earliest hockey memory was one that you can't really remember, but you know it happened. Yeah, no, that's fair.
Yeah.
Your Elite League team, 5. We already said that.
5 Flyers. Yep.
Your NHL team, if we press you to pick one now.
Oh, I'd probably go Blues.
Blues, okay, yeah.
Matching colours. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Favourite Elite League player?
Oh, ever?
Yeah, go ever. Oh, I tell you what, let's go ever now, and then we'll do the same for NHL. Obviously, now is a bit sketchy because I think Fife and Panthers are one of only 2 teams that haven't announced anyone.
Yeah.
Sad. So let's say last season and then ever.
Last season, Danik Gauthier. I always enjoy him playing for us. Or Morrison, goalie.
Yeah.
Ever. I've kind of got 2. Player who had defenseman, that was Phil Paquette. It was a couple of years back, and more recently Evan Bludoff, and he plays for Coventry.
Bulmer was at Fife?
Yeah, he was a great player.
Before this year, when he went to Panthers.
And then went to Panthers.
And then lost his working visa, apparently.
Then, what happened with that?
That's just, well, the rumours is that Panthers didn't do the paperwork properly, but I can kind of believe that.
Only one of the 2 biggest teams in England, and they can't even do their paperwork correctly.
I wrote to them for my dissertation asking if they could spare 5 minutes with any of their players, and they said they didn't have the funds to.
What funds? 5 minutes of a player's time?
Yeah. Anyway, for legal reasons, I still like the Panthers. So, favourite NHL player now? Or, well, the season's still going, so yeah, now.
Oh, I don't know. I'm gonna go. I do like Ryan O'Reilly. I've drawn Ryan O'Reilly, but I like Ryan O'Reilly.
I like him. He's one of these players that I don't know why I like him, but I do. I always try and trade for him on NHL.
I've got a drawing signed by him, so that's always my drawing got signed by. So I'm always I think that makes it biased. So.
Did you go out there, or did he send it signed?
No, Shane Owen that now plays for Giants. Used to be our goalie. Knows him, so he.
Oh, friends in high places.
Yeah. So he got that. Yeah.
The only thing I can do for you, I can maybe get you Dan's signature. If he's feeling nice.
Give me brothers. That's about as high up as it gets on hockey players.
And favourite ever NHL player, if you've obviously you're similar to me. We got into it. You said 2013.
2013, yeah, roughly.
That was around the same time as me. So we're ever's a bit short for us, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know if I've got a favourite ever.
Just give us another player you like, then that's fine.
I still like. I always really liked Fleury as a goalie. I mean, I would never really like Penguins, but
Great answer there. What an answer that is.
That is a popular answer in this Zoom call.
Great answer.
But I like Fleury. I don't know if I'm being biased just because I really like his mask, but
yeah.
I always like the goalies.
I mean, I really like Binnington. I like his story.
Oh yeah.
Coming into the league at 26 and winning the cup in your first year is pretty totally impressive, to be fair. And did you see him at the victory parade?
Mm-hmm.
He was smashed.
Was it him that got sloshed?
Yeah, smashed.
Absolutely hammered. We will. I think that's the. Oh, what's your favourite hockey memory as well? Actually, we like to try and keep it.
Flyers. I think it was playoff quarterfinals in Manchester. Carlo Finucci scoring in overtime. It's a very good moment.
There's something just special about overtime, isn't there?
Yeah. It was a good moment. Good atmosphere.
We are going to actually. I mentioned this briefly to Dan the other day, but it didn't respond. So, no, you might have. To be fair, I might have just ignored it. We were going to do a section or a whole episode about goalie masks. You've mentioned flurries already that you really like.
Yeah.
Is there any others that stand out?
Ooh. Off the top of my head, no. But I've just got a lot of admiration for goalie masks and
pads,
how they're painted, and just just the designs of them and how they're painted, and just
it is
I really like them.
It's the only opportunity players get to express themselves, really, isn't it? Other than stick tape, maybe, but you can't really do much with that.
Especially with goalies as well, because at least other players you see their face. With goalies, you don't really see. You see their eyes, and that's about it. So their personality is represented a bit more on the helmets and the pads.
Mm-hmm. I've always liked Lundqvist's masks.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you were a goalie, Rebecca, glove stains everywhere.
Can confirm that's what they do.
Yeah. Give me your brother's number. I'll give him some tips, Dan. If you were a goalie and you've got a blank white helmet, you were in the Stanley Cup final, you're playing for St. Louis Blues, you're going to absolutely pummel the Senators 4-0.
Wow. Okay, that was unnecessary. It could have been any other team.
You should get there. What helmet? What's your design going to be?
Oh. See, I always feel like I'd put something on it that I like, so I don't know. I feel like I love Disney, but I feel I shouldn't have something Disney on my helmet.
Well, I was going to say you could have Mighty Ducks, but then you're not playing for Ducks.
There was a Senators. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. He played for the Senators for a while, and he plays for a few other teams. And I know it's not Disney, but he would always have Marvin the Martian on the front of his helmet. At all times, every helmet he had. So you could probably go Disney, because people have done Looney Tunes, got away with it.
So
I know Razor.
Disney.
No, not Razor. Ray Emery, nicknamed Razor. He used to have boxers, didn't he? So he had Arlie and Joe Fraser. What would you have, Dan?
What would I have?
Stella. Can of Stella on the side.
Can of Stella, yeah. I don't know, to be honest, but what Disney character would go on the helmet?
Yeah.
Oh, see that's a tough question.
Because I've thought of one that might be quite good.
What would that be? I'm trying to think.
The Beast from Beauty and the Beast would look quite good on the helmet.
Yeah. That would look quite cool, actually.
You could do the horns and everything on the front.
I think I'd end up getting. See, that's my problem. I'm really indecisive, so I think I'd spend so long debating what design would go on it.
All of the 7 dwarfs.
Maybe. Yeah.
You know that little neck brace you get thing. Just get all the dwarves on there.
Yeah.
So you'd go with Disney mask.
I rate that though. I think that's I said, people have done Looney Tunes before, and I don't think you probably have to get licensing knowing Disney though.
Well,
you'd probably get sued if you didn't pay.
I heard that a terminally ill child had a Spider-Man coffin and Disney sued him because he didn't have.
That can't be true. That can't be true. Way to bring down the podcast, but that can't be true.
Anyway, my mask would have.
Moving on.
Yeah, my mask would have Spider-Man.
Also, not technically Disney mask.
Yeah, I don't know what I'd have, to be honest. I'd have probably
an artistic, actually. Might have some art stuff on it instead.
Yeah, watercolor.
If Disney were going to sue me.
Yeah, make it your own. I'm trying to think if we've got any other questions for you. But now we actually have an artistic person on board and not just me and Dan. I mean, I don't know what Dan did at school, but I got an E in GCSE art, so I have no.
I didn't take GCSE art. I've got
I
dysgraphia.
didn't take GCSE.
I've failed all of them.
Yeah.
I got dysgraphia, so I can't. My handwriting's not even legible, mate. Let alone trying to draw anything that looks realistic.
What's dysgraphia?
It's like dyslexia, but not for reading, but for hand movements and writing and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so my hands shake uncontrollably when I focus, so I cannot draw or write for shit.
Is that why you're so bad at card?
Wow! Wow!
Anyway,
don't know if I want to work for Slapshot anymore, to be honest.
Take it up with HR, Dan. It's just that bin over there. So, thanks for joining, Rebecca. Unless you've got any questions you want to ask us or any statements you want to make,
follow on Instagram, obviously. That will be linked
follow
to the
on
video.
Instagram, Rebecca Thomson Art. We will put a link to to Rebecca's page in the preview of the podcast that's going on Instagram tomorrow. It's Wednesdays. We're saying this. It'll be going live on Thursday. We'll put a link, and then we'll put a link to hers in the Spotify description as well, and the YouTube video when that goes up. Very, very good art. Interesting to see what she's been working on. I'm sure it'll be very
when we're allowed to hear
good,
about it.
It is.
When we're allowed to hear about it, I'll be very looking forward to that.
Just to do my quick sales pitch to the listeners, we have this week. Shut up, Dan. We have 2 Boston Bruins jerseys. We have the black alternate with Chara on the back in a size medium. We have a black old school one with the kind of drugged up bear on the sleeve in a size medium. Basically the same one that dropped today with Bork on the back, but it's got black instead of white. We've got a few random Russian ones again. CSKA Moscow ones. We've got a Anaheim Ducks, the classic Mighty Ducks one in size small. Florida Panthers in, I believe, a size XL. And we have an LA Kings black in size medium. Same that has dropped 2 weeks ago, I believe.
What Panthers one?
Florida Panthers, sorry, not Nottingham Panthers.
Yeah, no, I know that, but which which
the old school
the one with the one with the
stick break.
Stick break, yeah.
Yeah, the one with Bure on that era, and the goalie with a silly name, was it Van Beesbrook?
I don't know, something like that.
Yeah,
something like that.
So yeah, that's it. Thanks for listening, everyone. If you are listening to this and you do not already follow Slapshot Vintage, please follow. Please follow slapshot.dan. That's Dan. Please follow slapshot.Kieran. That's me. We are doing more kind of personal content now, our own jerseys. Slapshot is that's our baby as a whole. Follow Rebecca Thomson Art. As I said, we will put the links below. So thanks for listening, everyone. Take care. Right, I'll stop there.
The hockey game is the best game you can name, and the best game you can name is the good old hockey game. Second period.